off right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bitches.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Our Jamie's back.
Back again.
T-Rex is. So we back.
We back.
With some updates. Kind of a condensed version this week. But we're going to get to lengths about some crazy shit that happens, as it always happens, in between episodes of this show.
Oh, yeah.
Also, a lot of Twitter trolls out there have finally noticed us, in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
You got into a little Twitter spat. You got bit into it.
Well, because you text me and said, yo, you need to get on Twitter.
I did.
And I was in the middle of work.
Yeah.
But so I was in the middle of fucking my work. Get on Twitter. Oh, shit. He's going ham. All right, let's see what this. Okay, I got time to read like 4 tweets. So I got a condensed version of the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck you, asshole. And then I was done. I had to go back to work.
The problem is I feed the trolls, and that should have been my New Year's resolution.
That is totally what
Don't feed the trolls. It's like don't feed the seagulls because they don't go away.
Wet. Don't get the gremlins wet.
Yes. The one fucking, what was it? Volatile Elk. At Volatile Elk. That guy with the no profile picture, the classic, looks like a bot, talks like a bot, acts like a human. Probably is human. And then the other guy, Mommy Uncle. Holy shit.
Yo, why do you keep calling him a rapist? I think it's hilarious, but
this entire thing started when he tweeted out on a video from the congressional oversight meeting from the other day.
Okay.
What about Twitter?
Okay.
About taking down the Hunter Biden laptop one. Yeah. So it was not a picture with AOC.
Okay.
Or a video of AOC. And he responded with, wow, AOC is raping Republicans out there. Much to the delight of the nation or something like that. That's what he said. So I was like, okay, rapist. That's it. And it just
stemmed from that.
Oh, it spiraled. And I was like, I spent my whole lunch break when I could have been eating and fucking sleeping, just arguing with a stranger. And it was just like, he won't stop. And the thing is now, and I get to this point where I was like, you could block him.
Yeah.
But that's admitting defeat.
Yeah.
So I don't really block anybody. No one. Like,
I would just stop responding.
Yeah, you don't respond anymore. And he tweeted, after I said one thing today, he tweeted me like 3 or 4 more times the rest of the day. And I was like, yes. And I was like, okay, I got to stop feeding this one because there's nothing productive out of it. And it's just making me angrier. So screw it. I'm fucking hanging up on him.
When you fucking brought me into the tweets, you tweeted at BJFF. The fucking dude gave me like 10 minutes. Echo. Like, bro, I'm not living my life on Twitter, asshole.
Yeah. He did him again earlier today. It's like, oh, you must be in between lockers or something on lunch break or something like because I never responded to him after I just kind of came in there and said something about you. I was like, I don't know. We were going back and forth, but it was funny. The Twitter trolls are out in full force. And another story that actually I just saw on the way here. Trump's back on Facebook.
Okay.
His page is back on Facebook.
Okay.
If you want to see a cesspool of trolls, probably go to that page.
Yeah.
Want to get angry at something, happy at something, mad at somebody, MAGA, anti-MAGA. It's probably all going to be found in the Trump Facebook page.
Oh, for sure.
The comments, I haven't looked, but it's just a disease. It's bad.
I'm not even on Facebook, so
that's a good move.
Yeah. That's
a very good move. And the fact that they brought him back on is just, I mean, entering another level of the debate before, like, social media, what's allowed, what's not allowed, who's allowed to say what.
Isn't Facebook dead though?
Meta, actually? Yeah, Meta.
Okay.
Yeah, the company Meta.
Dead.
It's definitely dying off.
Like Zuckerberg will come up in the next 5 to 6 years with something brand new, and that'll be his baby again.
Do you think it'll be in the metaverse?
No, I think it'll be all about VR. So I think it will be about metaverse.
Probably like Meta 2.0.
Yeah.
The first one's not good enough.
Never is.
Yeah.
Never is. But yeah, I think he's going to go hard into the VR. So Facebook's going to go by the wayside, and you're going to have Twitter, Instagram, that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, everything seems to be moving towards VR. I mean, not just video games, but like life. I mean, offices they were trying to sell it to companies as being like, oh, this would be like the new internet or so. Like this is how people will engage from, the other side of the country or whatever. I was like, through avatars that don't look anything like you. They look like cartoon characters. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like in the future, in like 2.0,
Ready Player One makes it 3.0 look phenomenal.
What's Ready Player One?
You've never seen Ready Player One?
No.
A movie where it's all based on the virtual reality.
Okay.
And he has to
wait. When was it made? Like the 90s?
No, it was.
More recent?
Yeah, 2000. Last decade.
I feel like I'd seen some of it. It was probably on HBO at one point.
Oh yeah, definitely on HBO.
Oh man, I kind of remember it. Yeah,
it's a great movie, but it's totally what the world is coming to, where you have trailers stacked upon trailers because there's so many goddamn people.
Yeah,
and they all have their VR headset on, and they're all playing. They're all LARPing in their living room.
Mm-hmm. No getting by, as they do now.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
You ever LARP before?
Have I ever LARPed? No, I've never LARPed before.
Really?
No.
You're about to be Viking Santa Claus, U.S. Senate, and you've never gone LARPing at least once?
I'm not opposed to it.
I would be down if we could find a local LARPing, like, I don't know, club or team. Yeah. I watched them do it in college. They would do it right out. Cousin. Yeah. We were in college. We'd see them like doing it right there in the open, and it looked like fun. But I also didn't want to be that guy to LARP. Oh, here, I got it for you. You got it. Jamie phone down.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Making a shit ton of noise.
But yeah, outside of our initial segue into nothing, we have what else do we have coming up on the sketch or on the docket?
We can talk about that Turkey earthquake for a little while.
Yeah,
that was some devastating shit.
Real devastation
that not everybody knows about, evidently, because T-Rex didn't know anything about it.
So. You hadn't heard anything about that?
I don't follow the news.
Yeah, that's true.
So
if things start trending, or if like depending on what you do, or just who you talk to, or say like most time people will have something they'll talk about at work, even if no one's on there, you'll get someone else's.
Well, the problem is she hasn't even been at work.
No, that's true.
She's been out sick.
Yeah. So yeah, the earthquake happened when? It was Saturday? I
think so, yeah.
Hold on.
I think so. I mean, it was, or no, it must have happened during the week. I think it was Tuesday or Monday. And I was like immediately thinking to myself, I was like, because I had woke up to the news that Buffalo had an earthquake that same exact day, but later
Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday. So the Turkey one must have happened either Sunday night or Monday morning, coming into Monday, and then it happened in Buffalo around like 4 or 5 a.m. 6 a.m. Okay.
For where?
Buffalo.
I was on it.
What?
Buffalo?
Yeah, there's
an earthquake.
You didn't know that either?
No.
There's a 4.2 earthquake in Buffalo.
Sorry.
That's right around the corner. You need to know that one. Jesus Christ.
That is just like
Johnny
because
Akers went out and bought a survival kit for an earthquake, for crying out loud.
It's so weird. We were at King Arthur's the night before.
Yeah.
And Bear wanted me to get her something on Amazon because I had a gift card from work, and she was like, we need this. We needed something to stop the cats from scratching the fucking carpets outside of our bedroom. So we got that like little plastic thing.
Yeah.
And then I think we got a shower scrubber, like a real nice one, big one, long one, really would make ease to the shower cleaner of the house, which is not me. Not me. But now I probably will. I mean, it looks a lot easier. I just don't have the acumen for cleanliness as she does, as I'm sure you're aware. It's just not, I mean, I would do it, but I just don't notice it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, as I'm looking through there, I'm like, I've always wanted to kind of get like some type of survival kit, like just to have like with medical supplies, with like a flashlight, all different types of pocket knives, a shovel, the blanket, everything that you would need to be stranded, and literally for 72 hours for two people.
Yeah.
That was it. Right. So I'm looking them up and I'm like, I go, the best one they have on here is the earthquake one. I go, but we live in, fucking upstate New York. We're never going to have an earthquake here. They're not really that common. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just throw this one on there. And I didn't buy it yet because I was like going to wait to measure how far away the, how big the door was to make sure I got the right size.
Yeah.
So I waited till the next day and I measured it and I was like, all right. And I woke up, I was like, whoa. There was an earthquake in our basic backyard yesterday or this morning. I was like, wow. Send.
Bought it.
It's the longest one out of all the items on Amazon that's going to take the longest. But yeah, Everlit. Here's a free plug for you. Everlit survival guide or survival kits.
There's also, I saw it on Ben Shapiro. Shameless plug for Ben.
Mm-hmm.
But he also has
He's a dork.
Yeah, but he's intuitive.
I used to like him. I'm not a big fan of him anymore.
Why not?
He's a tool. He's a flip-flopper too. But I respect his brilliance and his intelligence.
All right.
He is smart.
But he has an ad out there too for, I think it's like Cucked Medical.
Okay.
It's a medical kit that you can have like 180 days of your medicines that you take on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
You can just have it in this case, so if something tragic does happen,
you have all your medications.
That
is,
for 180
you know what?
days.
As someone who doesn't take any medication, really, I take omeprazole now, and I'm not even that great at remembering how to do that. I got to take it when I get home. Anyways, I never think of that part of it in like survival mode. Like if the lights actually went out, which they're going out everywhere. Yeah. They went out during the House fucking Oversight Committee the other day. Real. Like South Africa is like declared a state of national emergency because of power outages. We could lose power at any time. Well, what are you going to do? And it just makes you think. I was like, fuck it. The emergency survival guide, that has a lot of medical supplies. Yep. It doesn't really have anything to contain your medication. So I did not think of that.
Well, also, insurance companies will only like prescribe it to you X amount of days ahead of time. I've had mine. I tried to order it ahead of time for a vacation, and they were like, "We'll allow it this one time, but this you can only do this once a year." Yeah. Order it ahead of time, and that's it.
I think the company actually contacts your doctors and tell them what it's for, so that they can issue a prescription for it. I don't know the full logistics of it, but I think that's how it works.
Yeah,
because you have to have a conversation with an actual doctor to even be able to get the package.
Yeah.
So you have to contact a doctor. You have to get actual.
I think. I mean, it obviously depends on what it is. You know that they prescribe out depending on what.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get oxycodone for 90 days.
Right. I would say that we do have. I'll say an unnamed friend. He does a lot of things. We all know him, and he's prescribed Adderall, and I don't think he'd probably be able to do it anymore. But at one point, he had gotten 3 months of Adderall all at once. Yeah, and I was like, we were in college on spring break.
Oh boy.
Completely coincidental situation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
and it's funny because like nowadays you're probably a lot more strict, especially with that. And anything else, you know, like oxys, fucking painkillers. I mean, those are
man. When I was a kid, they were giving those still out giving those things out.
Yeah, they're giving out like candies to everybody.
Craziness. Yep. And then they wonder why we have an opium epidemic.
And they wonder why people are skeptical about big pharma.
Yeah.
Oh. Classic fucking liberal over here. I was the most liberal goddamn person in the world when I was in college. I was laying down in the middle of the streets. I did time, motherfuckers.
A whole 8 hours.
I was there for like 2.
Oh.
I actually asked, you know what? Coincidentally enough, here's an untold part of that story. While sitting in the police station, I asked the cop who paid the electric bill. And he looked at me and he goes, okay, the state? I was like, oh, gotcha. I didn't think of that. Well, I got an electric bill coming up in a week, and it'd be really nice if you guys kept the fine light. It got dropped to littering anyways. Oh, foolish stuff. But anyways, as liberal as they come back then, and it was for things like that. It was for the corruption of Wall Street, for big money in politics, for big pharma killing people. I had friends in college who had died from being opiate addicted, and then they got into heroin, and they're not even here anymore. So, telling you, if you have a bone to pick, it's usually with the people who spend the most money to get the closest to politics, and Big Pharma's been fucking setting those records for years. Follow the money. Yeah. Every other goddamn commercial on TV. Fuck it. What were we talking about? Sorry.
Turkey.
Okay, turkey.
So back to that. It was on Monday. You guys were correct. It was a 7.8 earthquake. And there was over 100 aftershocks.
Holy shit. Dude, it was...
Some as big as 7.5. For the
aftershocks?
100 aftershocks?
Over 100.
And that was really right around...
That doesn't seem normal.
The Buffalo earthquake happened I bet you it happened within the window of all those aftershocks too. I don't know, but it'd be tough to look up. Don't even have to try.
Especially on first dumbass computer.
It's just weird. I mean, it absolutely, you'd be like, upgrade. I feel like you'd be more of a conspiracy theorist if you said that those two incidents were not related. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was that big of an earthquake and like a catastrophic, devastating earthquake. I mean, the death toll right now, and they're still looking for people, is 15,000 to 20,000 people.
21,000.
It's over that.
More than 21,000.
And it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Because there's so much rubble. When you see the pictures and you see the videos of it.
What the fuck does that say? 10-year-old Turkish girl found alive under rubble?
In 90th hour since earthquake.
So 90 hours.
That's awesome. Thank you for bringing that to light, because at least there was also a baby born in the rubble. Did you see that?
Get the fuck out of here.
There's a video of a baby being pulled out of the rubble and the mother didn't make it.
At the moment.
The mother, it's crazy. I mean, they're in the rubble, and the guy, all it is like a picture or like a view from the street. And the guy comes out and he's got this kid that, literally looks like he'd just been born, and he's carrying it down the street just in his hands. And then the video says there was a baby born in the rubble and the mother did not make it.
Oh,
so it's just, that's hard. It's an insane event. That's human life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter where they are. They're Turkey. They've been, anti-US, and they're people. They're fucking people.
New York family killed in building collapse in Turkey earthquake. So now U.S. citizens are being killed.
It is it was a once in a, what is it now? A once in a century? Yeah. I have two very good friends. We went to their wedding. They're Turkish. They have family over there. It's devastating.
These New Yorkers were there visiting family.
Yeah. It's just, you could have been them. It could have been anyone's family. It's the video of it and the videos you see of them live collapsing well after the earthquake, the first earthquake even happened. That's the weird part about it.
Well, see, and I go into it, okay, so all these people died because of a natural disaster, right? What about all the fucking people that are dying in Ukraine by just human hands?
Yeah.
Just because we're idiots and we don't understand that humans need to survive together, not at each other's throats. Like, what the fuck?
All human life is precious.
Why?
There's certain humans out there who would take advantage of other people, and they're usually the ones at the top, which is the ones I've been railing about. If you go back and look at any one of our podcasts, you'll know that I have never talked too hard on left or right, because I believe it's just a simple 99-1. It always has been.
Yep.
OG. Oh God. But yeah, the devastation that you see on TV, I just wonder, we can ring a bell maybe once and talk about HAARP.
That was twice. That's 3 times.
2 + 1 = 3. Yes.
So I saw,
I want to go to it again.
I read a little bit into this HAARP shit. So basically,
I never knew about it before this happened. Actually,
so evidently HAARP actually confirms a conspiracy theory, in my view.
Okay.
Because how many fucking times have you heard about chemtrails? As a conspiracy theorist,
that's up all the time. I think Liberties brought that up too. We were talking about, and we tried to ask him what it was all about in his elegant way. And one day, Liberties, I promise, we're gonna get that episode on there, and we will get you on this pod again.
Well, we just got to get the board. That's all.
Yeah, we're close.
Once we get that, but so this program HAARP, what is it? You want me
to? It is High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP, is a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere.
So the clouds.
The clouds, yeah.
Fucking with the clouds. So basically, all of that is saying that, hey, all those planes that are actually spitting out all that shit that people have been saying, those are chemtrails, and there's actual like metal and shit in there. Yeah, they were right, because it's under this program. Because they're basically putting aluminum iodine or whatever the fuck. I think it was carbon dioxide solids.
Yeah.
2 forms of metal. I think one of them was magnesium. But they spray it into the air so that they can manipulate it later with these antennas.
Okay, so is that how the earthquake goes through that, though? I don't understand. I don't get that part.
I don't understand how the earthquake comes in, because from what I see, this causes either you can manipulate it so that it causes torrential downpour if you need rain. You can cause it to make snow if you need snow. Basically, you can manipulate the weather for whatever you need. But I don't understand where an earthquake comes into this HAARP and why everybody's talking about HAARP.
So this is where like I'd play devil's advocate because the problem when you go down these theories, and I saw it like immediately, I was like, oh, it's the HAARP. Like there's videos of, flashes of light that happened before the earthquake or something like the clouds where, they showed these pictures or videos of clouds that look skeptical like the day before. But you can't verify any of that shit because it's coming from the people who peddle anything. They just, I mean, there's again, put silent partner down or anything, but like it's the flat earth people. It's the people that are really that far out there.
Yeah.
So I will say like, it's not really, I don't really understand how that could have caused an earthquake, but like I didn't know that there was 100 aftershocks after, if that's like common. That's different. You look up like what's a common amount of aftershocks after an earthquake? Because that seems high.
Yeah. That seems abnormal.
And it seems like one of those aftershocks was probably the one that was in Buffalo, and I don't know if there was earthquakes other places. We just know about that one because we were close to it.
Home, yeah.
And it's
but
like
the thing that got me was the aftershock that was what you said. The original earthquake was 7.8.
7.8,
and the aftershock was 7.5.
Yeah, it was even worse, or not even worse, but it was just as bad. Pretty much. Yeah.
Like how are you gonna have an aftershock?
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was 7.5 first, and the aftershock was worse than the actual earthquake. So I mean,
after you have the first one, whatever comes next, whatever span of time, you got people shifting.
Yeah.
So people are going to start moving. So when the second one hits, everything that just was placed
loosened basically.
So now everybody that's moving and now it shifts again. Now you're just fucked.
Yeah, because it just kept happening. Yeah, over and over again. That's why you saw those videos. And again, they'd be like, well, I think of the majority of how all the devastation, the real devastation happened because of all those aftershocks. You could say it was either natural or not natural, but that's probably what brought down most because there were people live filming the buildings going down.
Yeah.
And to give you another devil's advocate moment, because I will support looking up these people that are flat earthers and posting any video they can to get likes and shares. Someone posted, goes, look at this live devastation that happened in Turkey. And it was a controlled demolition video from China that I watched literally a year and a half ago. I'm like, you suck. Like, you suck. Like, those people suck. Yeah. Fuck you.
So it's saying that there can be like up to 100 for a lot of them, but most of them aren't going to be anything that's felt. The rate of the aftershock quickly dies off after the first hour. The day after the main shock, what has about half the aftershocks of the first day. And 10 days after the main shock, there will only be about a 1/10 of the number of aftershocks. So it could last for, it looks like, up to
a week and a half,
possibly 2 weeks.
Yeah, but also most of those aren't felt.
So it seems like they're very low.
At least like 3.0 or lower because you don't really feel a 3.0.
Yeah,
it definitely doesn't seem like they're typically as high as the ones.
Okay, so we got a little wiggle room with that one.
Well, what freaks me out is I don't think there's any plates or anything under fucking Turkey. I know there isn't any under fucking Buffalo.
There actually is though. They are on a fault line.
They are on a fault line?
I bet you there is a fault line too, kind of close to where it happened. I know Buffalo is legit on a fault line. It's just not on an active one. It's like we're not active, but like it's not a normal one to go wrong.
Shift.
That's why I think it had to have been some way connected to the Turkey earthquake because it hardly ever goes off. So and they're all connected. That's why they're the tectonic plates. If you want to believe in science, your choice.
There is a plate under Turkey.
Yeah, there's plates everywhere. It's just that some of them are less common. Like, the ones in California, that happens all the time because it's at a very active plate where like two huge plates are coming together.
And one isn't one going underneath it.
It's like grinding it. Magma. Yeah. They'll fall into the ocean. So on the fault line topic, there is fault lines there. There's fault lines. There's a lot of them, but it just depends on what the more accuracy or the more active ones that are going off. But I mean, I don't know if they have them in a while. Turkey has come out and said, I mean, this is by far, it's the most devastating earthquake they've probably ever seen.
I mean, they had one of those castles that has been there for fucking ever that is now completely destroyed.
That's what I'm saying. It's biblical. Like, it's been there for that long. That region is so old. That region is so historic. There's so much history in that region.
I wonder if
that earthquake was strong enough for the first time ever to take that thing down. That's nuts.
I wonder if in the biblical story, there is a place that is in Turkey and it predetermined the earthquake was going to be one of the signs that the end is coming.
It could be.
Because
Do you want?
There's some end that have been, the prophecies have been fulfilled.
So you have that happen. Very close also to the Ohio train derailment.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
Which
and why doesn't anybody talking about that?
And why does that happen like almost coincidentally with all these events? These all happen like everyone found out about these simultaneously. Mm-hmm. Each one in its own right is horrible. I mean, let's be honest. The Buffalo one, people shook out of bed and a couple plates got broken.
Yeah.
Okay. Turkey is in a state of devastation. I mean, that 21,000 as of today will probably, by the time we post this, it'll probably be even higher.
There was 3 major news stories that fell at the same time, and Buffalo wasn't even one of them.
Didn't we just talk about this our last episode that we had? Like 4 things that happened all at once. Huh.
Yeah. It's crazy. So we had Turkey and Syria. Turkey and Syria had an earthquake. We had the train derailment in Ohio that nobody's talking about, and they're releasing fucking chemicals. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the third story is another fucking egg farm went up in flames.
Was it the second one?
The second egg farm went up in flames.
I did not even see that.
So there was one in the New England area that went up. Now there's one in Europe that just went up. I got caught in the first 2 again. I got caught in the earthquake and the train derailment and totally missed that. The second largest egg producer in the world just went up in smokes. 75,000 hens dead.
And this is a public service announcement. Buy chickens.
No shit.
Make your own feed.
Fucking the food scarcity problem that you are seeing in your public market is forced by the upper ups, people.
Who are these people that are going to do it? I bet you it's either, I mean, we'll put some names on it, but they probably got 3 letters. And whatever one you want to fill in the gaps there, boys.
Yeah,
either domestic terrorism or there's no way. There's just no way.
Terrorism.
Yeah,
worldly.
So it has to be covert,
and you have to. And if you can't put 2 and 2 together with Bill fucking Gates owning the most agriculture in the world,
with China also trying to buy farmland,
there
are missile sites.
Yeah, no shit. With spy balloons that we don't want to shoot down, but whatever. Seems like you got something to say. What do you want to say?
I was trying to find out the reason that people think HAARP had something to do with the earthquake.
Yeah.
So I'll read the 2 paragraphs. It's the best I can find on the reasoning behind that.
We'll take it.
So it says HAARP is a ionospheric research project in Alaska funded by parts of the U.S. military as well as the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Conspiracy theorists say HAARP was designed to produce earthquakes and other natural disasters. The earthquake in Turkey looks like a punitive operation by NATO and the U.S. against Turkey, one user tweets. The video shows lightning strikes, which are not normal in earthquakes, but always happen in HAARP operations.
So, okay.
So something in the ionosphere makes the fucking earthquake happen.
And that had it as the video of that lightning strike happened right before it happened. It's truly the same video?
I can't see the video right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that sounds like what it's talking about. So
who had posted that?
Let's see. Right there, right above it. I don't know how to say this name.
Oh yeah, Shinzenzi Bohan. Yeah. So here, I'll show you. Watch this. Because I thought about when I saw these. There's a few people that would comment underneath. Sorry, let me move this real quick. Shit. There we go. Replies. And you can take these as also being fake news or being right news because that depends on if you're left or right. You'll be on the right and you'll see it. You're like, oh, that's, that makes sense. Like that, they are trying to fuck up, our enemies or whatever. And other people are like, no. So this is beyond crazy nuts. Turkey's a NATO member. Lightning happens. This is from Hans1488, another bot. Lightning happens always on high magnitude earthquakes. It happens in Albania during the big earthquake in 2019 that killed more than 50 people. Okay.
Well, how do you not know that wasn't HAARP as well?
Right. It says there are always lightning strikes before an earthquake. We have video of many of these, including big earthquake in Mexico.
How do you know that wasn't a HAARP program?
It could have been HAARP.
How do you know? It
could have been the electronics.
Down here too.
Earth or ground lightning has been reported for years in earthquakes.
It'd always be HAARP.
I'm telling you, this was one of the videos that I saw, though. And I'm glad you pulled it up because that was like, again, you don't know what these videos actually are from.
Well, a little bit more on that HAARP thing. So if they're fucking with the weather, right? So from what I'm reading is they can manipulate weather so well that they can produce rainfall. They can produce
cloud
snowfall.
seeders. That's been known to be an actual thing. They do it in China. They have cloud seeders. They can make clouds to rain.
What do you think happened in Buffalo 2 months ago?
With what? The storm?
The snowstorm. You think that was a HAARP mission?
It could have been.
How come we don't have feet of snow anymore in our area?
Yeah.
Like, I remember growing up and having feet of snow. And my grandparents used to say the fucking snow used to go up the telephone pole. Where the fuck is this snow going?
We don't really have winters around here
Is
anymore.
global warming a thing? Is climate change a thing? Because how can climate change be a thing when you're fucking with the climate?
Yeah.
So yes, climate change does exist. You convinced me because you're fucking with it.
You're changing it.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Like, how is nobody connecting these things? But I have to say... It's
easy to say. I mean, it's easy to connect, I would say. Yeah.
But I have to say, I have to redact myself. There were 4 news stories. And the fucking 4th one just left out of my head. Oh, I remember now. Biden, there is a dossier out by a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist that says Biden ordered the Nord Stream pipeline demolition.
Yes, that's another one that had popped out this past week. Independent journalist.
So when's he going to be charged with fucking war crimes?
Never. You know when they never. I mean, let's be honest, never.
Yeah.
They had a clip, and I saw this a while ago. It was right after it actually happened. Because when did that happen? Can you look up when the Nord Stream pipeline incident had first happened? So I want to say it was like mid 22.
I think it was mid 21 because it was
21.
No, it had to be 22.
I think it was
after they invaded.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
So it was like March, April 22.
Explosion we're talking about?
Yeah. And it started leaking, and they couldn't hide that because it literally started leaking up to the top of the ocean, and anyone could take fucking pictures of it.
The picture that she just pulled up was the
same picture. You see that picture everywhere.
26, 2022.
Oh, okay. We were way later than I thought.
Okay. So well past Labor Day.
Yeah.
All right. Anywho.
Was that before or after Biden hid his documents in his Corvette?
After. Before. Got it. No, yeah, you're right. It was. Or no. Was it? I think it was November they did that.
Yeah, but that's when they found them. So they were there already.
They were already there. You're right. So that was before. Classic Biden. There's a clip of him, though, saying it well before that. When they say, what is your response when Germany... what is your response when Germany doesn't cut off the pipeline or stop the pipeline from Russia? He just goes, he like chuckled and he goes, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Well,
he did.
I don't know why when they actually tell you the truth for the one time out of a million, you don't believe them because you believe everything else they say.
Well, it's like sitting
but you wouldn't believe that we would have maybe blew up the pipeline. I mean,
just like sitting at a fucking poker table.
People said it from the very start.
You bluff, you tell the truth, and they still don't believe you.
I just think critically for a second, okay? Just think critically, and I know it's hard for people to do that these days, okay? What reason would Russia have to blow up their own pipeline? Why?
None.
The only thing they could say is like red flag, but then they also lose the money that they really need because they're getting cut off and sanctioned from every single country in the Western world. They need as much money, and they were making a lot of money to Germany. And Germany, that was really their only power source. Trump had ripped on them for years, saying, you rely too much on Russian oil. You're going to be in trouble for that someday. Yep. He was right. Again, they laughed at him back then. He was right. Again, now, fast forward, it actually explodes. And they're really going to say, oh, well, Russia did it to their own pipe or sure, anyone else did it. No. There's only one easy culprit of someone who wants to escalate a war that you make billions of dollars off of.
Exactly.
That ends my rant on the Nord Stream pipeline. But anyways, they just came out. What was the, it was an independent guy that said there's too much evidence to say that they had done it.
Yeah. That was after he reported on it. So,
yeah.
Here we go.
Hold on, I had his name. It's
Seymour Hersh. Claims U.S. Navy behind Nord Stream 2 pipeline explosion.
That'd be the SEALs.
Yep, and
SEAL Team 6.
And in that article, he says that they went with the Norwegian Navy, I believe.
Because I think it's in this. It's the way it runs is like through that part of the sea. I can even just pull up a map of. I think it's the Norwegian Sea. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is, yeah.
But that's where it runs. I'm pretty sure.
So the article says that they placed the bombs on the pipe stream. Then over a otherwise non-conspicuous flight, they dropped a buoy in the sea that emitted low-frequency sounds that triggered the bombs at a later date.
Yes.
On September 26, 2022.
So that's the map. That's where it goes.
Yep.
That's Sweden, and then Norway's right there.
Yep.
So depending on where they put it, it would have come down.
So Norway has a very good naval battalion, I guess,
Mhm.
and they have very skilled divers. So the U.S. Navies went with them. And
They've been training for that their whole life.
for real.
Guess what, guys? We just got called out on mission to escalate World War III.
Yeah,
This is it.
this is what we've
But
been training
the
for.
thing is, they can't really brag about it.
No.
They can't say anything. They are sworn to secrecy, no matter who did it, because someone did it.
Oh yeah.
No matter who did it, they're sworn to secrecy, and they can't brag. And as soon as that chips start to fall, you never know who's going to sell someone out. I mean, there's the famous tale of the people, the SEAL Team 6 members. This is a true story, by the way. I don't even ring the bell on it. But the SEAL Team 6 members, the ones who had killed bin Laden, many of those people that were a part of that were killed in a helicopter crash less than a year later.
And
So
and
you
now-
don't talk about anything
and
that's that top secret.
now the only people that are alive are talking because their buddies just got killed.
Well, that, and they're just like, oh, well, I understand where my role is now.
Yeah, yep.
And we go with the story. Yeah. They killed bin Laden and threw him off the ship. To not have a burial place that people could worship. That was the excuse they gave.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
But anyway, back to the train derailment.
Oh, yes,
So-
the Ohio train
I
derailment.
didn't go into this one because I was more focused on 3 and 4, not 1 and 2.
So, well, the one I say in the order of stories, and I'd say deservingly so, is Turkey,
Yeah.
because that was awful. I would have almost put this at 2
Yeah.
because it was like, wait a minute, this happened, and it happened before. I think I believe when the train had derailed, it was before the earthquake.
Okay.
It derailed like a few days ago, and it was on fire, but no one had heard about it.
Okay.
Not a soul. I don't even know what was.
I didn't even know there was a derailment.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
it was in East Palestine, Ohio. That was the name of the town.
Of course.
Okay. I feel like I had seen someone post a video on it like a day before, and admittedly, I thought when I saw East Palestine, I didn't even see like the Ohio part, that it was happening in literally Palestine. So I was like, oh, there's a train on fire in Palestine. That's crazy. I wonder what the hell that was carrying.
Yeah.
And then I realized a day or two later,
Oh, that's
Right.
Ohio.
oh, it's in Ohio, and it's the same
state
day
that
that this
doesn't
earthquake
exist.
happened. I was like, wait, this was already on fire? This is that. But the reason that it became news is because they said they were going to do a controlled release
Chemical
of
release.
the chemicals.
Yeah. So it doesn't explode.
Was it vinyl chloride?
I don't
think
know
it
what
was.
it was. I was wondering why it derailed in the first place.
That I had no knowledge of because it happened like after before I'd even figured out what was before the controlled release.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. That's just going to go up into the
Yeah,
atmosphere?
Vinyl chloride.
Vinyl
what was
chloride,
being
yeah.
Released.
Just right into the soil?
Into the air.
Oh, it was gas? That
Well, it was in
chemical.
fire.
Well,
The
no.
smoke.
Yeah, but they're doing a chemical release.
So it was like they caused an explosion, and they told people around the 5-mile radius to
Get the
leave
fuck out?
because if you were outside during that time, you'll either die or you'll have permanent lung damage, like respiratory damage,
Oh, sure.
just in 5 miles. Mind you, that it goes into the air and the wind carries for fucking ever.
Yeah,
How many people live east and north of Ohio?
well, that's
lot.
us.
Yeah, us, first of all.
Yeah.
Did you walk outside last night or the night before after the chemical derailment? It's a weird taste in the air. Something tasted funny. Smelled different.
It smelled different.
They're fucking poisonous in plain sight.
The vinyl chloride, they would blow a small hole into each rail car, and the vinyl chloride would then spill into a trench where flares would ignite and burn it away.
Okay. So it burns away. It's liquid, right? When
Yes.
they
Yeah.
and it's only kept, I think, liquid
What is vinyl
at
chloride
very
used
warm
for?
temperatures. It's in everything. It's in
Vinyl
like
chloride?
it's in like upholstery in your car. It's just like a certain like it makes like plastic shit,
Well,
like forks, like your plastic utensils that you get
getting
everywhere.
rid of
It's
fucking
used
plastic.
to make PVC pipes, wire
that's what it is,
coating,
actually.
vehicle upholstery, and plastic kitchenware.
Bro, they were already in a PVC shortage.
Dude, PVC. I think that's what it stands for. Is something
Polyvinyl chloride.
polyvinyl chloride. Yeah, that's PVC pipe, polyvinyl chloride pipe.
They were already in a shortage for that.
Were they really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shocking.
You know, working at the company that I used to work for, you find out that shit.
Do they have anything on how the train actually derailed?
I'm looking.
And I'll say this too as well, because I believe it was while the Chinese spy balloon was still active. I believe that it happened around the same time. Because we shot it down on Saturday, and I think the train derailment happened.
Did you
right
just see
around
the picture of the derailment?
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
And then there's the video that I saw when I first saw it. It's just a long line of fire. It really looks like a special effects movie. And it's just, and you realize, like, I'm like, what is this? And they're like, oh, those are train cars?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like a fucking half-mile long of fire.
Do you think it was like that movie with Denzel Washington where the dude just hit the lever and kind of jumped out because he had to do something?
You know what I think it is? You honestly know what I think it is, and we'll see if it ends up happening. It's the HBO series Chernobyl. And we're the fucking Russian fucking government saying, oh, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
But if it's vinyl chloride, I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
They said that it was, if you're close enough, like around the area.
Well, yeah, you don't want to burn plastic. That's what it is. You're burning plastic.
We'll see what happens.
I get it.
I don't think it's extreme to that point. Like,
I don't think it's Chernobyl, bro.
Not Chernobyl weather, or not Chernobyl level, but like it's a similar situation to that, where it's probably not as good as they're laying out. Like they're probably saying, "Oh, we want everyone around here."
Fucking knows about it, so yeah, they're covering it.
I would not be surprised if those people might never be able to go back to their homes. I don't know if they've gone back already. This has happened like whatever a few days ago. It's like burning plastic. It might be fine. But like, how do you know that either the soil or the air, the water, the water it goes into the water after you burn in that? It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah, groundwater's fucked.
I just don't, and it's right near a river that like supplies drinking water to that entire region, Ohio and Pennsylvania. Like,
better buy your filters.
I cannot find how this train derailed. All they're saying is
ring
that
the bell.
all I keep finding is just how the chemicals were released, controlled by control, and everything went well.
Where's the committee? Like, isn't there? Like, don't you?
You know what I want to know? Where's Pete Buttigieg? What's that little fucking creeper doing? You're the Department of Transportation leader, Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Why did no one know about a train derailing in the middle of Ohio? And why was it just decided that it's going to be news when you're releasing chemicals into the air?
Yeah.
Man, you don't really have to go far to see incompetence, or
and
I don't even know
who voted on that.
Who was this? Whatever qualification gave that guy the job, other than being the perfect
blowjob artist?
No, not even that, because you could say that about a lot of people. I mean, it's probably pretty true, Vice President. And
I found
say that he's never done anything in transportation.
Breaking news.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, it said about 50 cars derailed around 8:55 p.m. local time on February 3rd, 2023. 20 of the 141 cars were classified as carrying hazardous material. Oh, not Friday. February.
Yeah, February 3rd.
Is that Friday? Yeah. Yes. So 20 of the 141 cars were classified as carrying hazardous materials, 14 of which were carrying vinyl chloride. Other chemicals included combustible liquids, butyl acrylate, and benzene residue cars. About 48 hours later, the National Transport Safety Board said it had preliminary findings that a mechanical problem on the axle of one of the cars led to the derailment.
Isn't that the same thing that the Denzel Washington thing was about?
It was a mechanical problem?
It was a mechanical problem that they didn't swap
on the
out.
Axle.
Yeah, that they didn't swap out because they didn't want to they didn't want to do the money to swap out everything. And then Denzel Washington has to run on top of a fucking train so Pittsburgh doesn't get leveled. But now Ohio just
what's
gets
that
leveled?
movie called again?
What the
is
fuck
it? Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3? Is that movie?
No, that's with John Travolta and Denzel Washington.
Oh, okay.
Another train movie, but that is with the subway.
I think I know what movie you're talking about because
Out of Time?
Something like
Unstoppable.
that. Unstoppable. That's it. Who is the other actor in that? Because it's actually a pretty good movie.
That's a great movie.
I think it's a Hemsworth brother. I don't know.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
There you go.
The lost Hemsworth brother. Of course. Of course. There's a few of them out there.
Yeah, you know.
That Daddy Hemsworth's got some good genes. I actually just watched a movie with him in it not too long ago. It ended up sucking. It was 12 Strong. You ever seen that one?
No.
It was like right after 9/11. They send these guys in as like the first team to go in after 9/11. And it was just corny as fuck. But I mean, it was good action.
Oh.
Solid action. These guys literally, it was based on a true story. These dudes trained Iraqi fighters or Afghani fighters in the Northern Coalition. And they were literally riding horses against tanks. I don't know.
Seems like Chris Pine only does things that are based on true life.
No, that was Hemsworth.
Oh, Hemsworth was in that movie?
Chris Pine, I haven't seen him in too much.
I thought that's who we were talking about.
No, I was going with Hemsworth in that one. My bad. I should have been clear on that one. It's a good movie though. 12 Strong. No, it's not a good movie.
I thought you just said it was terrible.
It's good if you want to just fall asleep to it because I did.
All right.
So it's a movie that like put on like I'm gonna fall asleep to this. So that's good.
I do also want to let you guys know, because everyone seems to be reporting on it. A reporter named Evan Lambert was arrested during the covering of the train derailment news. He was charged with
the news anchor.
Yep, he's a reporter for the news. He was charged with disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing, but basically it was because
they wanted them not to be there.
Well, the officials said they told him to be quiet while the governor was speaking, and he did not.
Good.
So they
Good for him.
arrested him.
I want to do that guy's name because he definitely has a Twitter. I'm going to give him a fucking follow.
Yeah.
Evan Lambert.
Evan.
And apparently he cannot speak of it right now because the charges are still pending.
Here he is, Evan Lambert TV. He's okay. This is how I know he's a G. He's followed by Disclosed TV.
There you go. Done. Follow him.
So Disclosed TV is the best Twitter app to follow for real news. In fact, most of the articles that we get, or at least the ones from me, come from that.
Looks like he's with News Nation.
Yeah. So DC correspondent, News Nation, interest, justice, federal law enforcement. Him. University of Maryland. Terp.
He put the him in there, though?
He did. I wonder if it was a troll. It just looks like a guy who honestly wants to get answers no matter what. And he's a good, fuck it. He got arrested.
Did you hear?
Send me the GoFundMe.
Did you hear what happened to O'Keefe?
Did he get arrested too?
He didn't get arrested, but he got ousted.
By who?
Project Veritas.
Himself?
Yeah.
He got bounced from the company that he started? The board
said, you're going to take a leave of absence.
What did he do?
On Friday, I think it was today or Friday, they were going to meet to discuss his immediate removal.
What did he do?
He fucking got out there with Pfizer. How much do you think Pfizer played the board of Project Veritas to say, get that fucker out of there?
Really, though?
You think right after that fucking
thing? So you think the rest? What would the rest of Project Veritas be? It'd be nothing. It'd be nothing with James O'Keefe.
Because James O'Keefe is Project Veritas.
I know.
Project Veritas is James O'Keefe.
They're
one and the same. So
removing him is not going to be like a Twitter situation where you take what the fuck was even his name? The creator of Twitter, Jack Dorsey.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same situation as that because it's such an influential spot. Project Veritas is only good because you have James O'Keefe confronting the person after the private journalist goes in there and pretends they're on a date with them and gets them to open up about it like idiots. It's an amazing fucking thing. I mean, you could say that they could do it to the right too if they wanted to. There could be plenty of Project Veritas out there about the right, but there's not because there's never any stories about these type of people that they cover, and that's why they do it. That's why it's good, but it's going to be nothing without him. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I did. So they
you didn't hear that, though?
You think that Pfizer got to him? Got to O'Keefe or got to Project Veritas?
Project Veritas.
Who do you know who else is on the board?
I don't know who the hell's on the board.
That's fucking nuts.
The problem is the board is realizing that they have a lot of employees that are loyal to James O'Keefe. Could have told you that one. But so if they do eliminate James O'Keefe, What's stopping James, unless he signed a non-compete, he's just going to go around and open up another Project Veritas under a new name.
It's so, I mean, I'm looking at people who are talking about it saying like every employee who finds themselves out of work after Project Veritas goes under should sue the board of directors for damages. This is looking less like a hostile takeover, in quotes, and more like a sabotage of the entity, the idea that was Project Veritas.
It is.
So you're right.
100%.
That's from Viva Frey. He's a great one to follow too as well.
Fucking Pfizer got to the board members, said, we'll give you $1 billion.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. And they're slowly dismantling it. What did fucking Peaky Blinders said? You can do more damage from the inside.
Yeah.
Do more damage from the inside.
I can't believe he ever allowed it to have a board.
I think everybody that listens to this fucking show,
2020.
if you haven't watched Peaky Blinders,
That's a great show.
go watch season fucking 5. Is that what? Yeah, we're on season 5. Season 5. Because that legitimately shows you how a party that is as awful as the Nazi party can come to power with everybody behind them. It legitimately shows you how they systematically took everybody with the Great Depression and saying, oh, the Jews did that. That's what got everybody behind the Nazi party. Everybody lost a shit ton of money. Everybody got behind the Nazi party because they were like, we're pointing the finger at this fucking guy, and everybody's like, yeah.
Was it the Treaty of Versailles or one of those that like they just totally fucked Germany after the First World War? They put them into an even worse depression.
This is all about England.
Oh, that too as well. Yeah.
How about all the fascism comes into England.
Yeah.
But it's the
communism
same shit.
The same thing. It's the same fight all the time.
Fucking happening
it's always
now.
The same fight.
The same shit that's happening now.
It's got different names, got different colors, got different
all these
flags.
Fucking left liberals think they're doing the goddamn greatest shit in the world. It's all fascism.
It's called the end of a dynasty. Do you want to know what happened after the British, essentially had almost lost World War II? Ushered in a new world power.
Yep.
That's what was happening at the end of their empire. Turmoil, depression, two sides fighting. Who to blame? It's you. No, it's you. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. Oh, I'm not wrong. You're wrong.
It's a straight white male.
Yeah. Well,
it's his fault.
It's got. As I said, it's got a lot of different colors these days now. But it's always the same. It's a class struggle. Yeah. It happens in every single decline of an empire. So you say when it's basically what's happening now. You see it anywhere.
It's everywhere.
You see, I was watching John Adams the other day. You ever watch that one on HBO?
No.
Add it to your list because the very first episode. I don't want to get on too much of a tangent. You could probably cut this if you want to.
Whatever.
But anyways, I don't know if you know this, but the very first thing that he became kind of really famous for was defending the soldiers of the Boston Massacre from the Boston Massacre. And he was a patriot. He was on the side of revolution and freedom, but he was so upholding that the law needs to be followed and every person in a free country deserves the right of representation, that he was the only one that would take their case, and he fucking won it for him.
Of course.
Because he proved that take away the whatever it is, the fucking uniform, take away who you are on either side.
It's still
if you're pushed to a point where you have to defend yourself, he used it almost as an analogy of what they were in. Yeah. He goes, look, and then the soldiers, who knows what actually really happened, but I mean, the story goes he defended them successfully and then became a patriot for the rest of his life. It's just that case right there is exactly what happens with George Floyd. It happens all the time. Was it a riot? It wasn't a riot. It was a peaceful assembly. Well, were they defending themselves? No, they were defending themselves. And the courtroom back in the days was a fucking free for all.
Yeah.
So it was like everyone's yelling. It was
the gavel actually meant something though.
Yeah. Oh, there was people just stomping on a fucking stick.
Yeah.
Like it was just, it's wild. It's old. It's like British style court.
I love it.
But and I'm watching that episode. I'm like, this is just, everything is the same. It just happens with different technology. And
I don't know how many times I have to say
exact same thing as it happens now.
Everything is cyclical.
All the time. Big circle.
And we obviously don't know how to fucking learn from history. So we're doomed to repeat.
No one knows it.
Yeah,
no one cares about it. They secularize themselves on each history they want to learn.
Like T-Rex will tell you herself that she doesn't like history.
No.
Yeah.
She hates it because she thinks that because in school, what do you do in history? You learn where, you learn when. You don't really learn why. You learn what from the
you learn
side.
dates. You have to know dates.
You have to know dates and you have to know locations.
Names. Dates, names, and locations.
Yeah. And that's all they get.
Someone should print a shirt, dates, names, locations.
Yeah.
That was our history education.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Well, I never paid attention, and then it just bored me, and I couldn't get it to stick. And then for one of our anniversaries, we went to Gettysburg, and he, retaught me basically what happened in Gettysburg, and being there and seeing it and being able to experience it.
You feel it.
I'm like, this is actually interesting stuff. But the way they bring it up in school, it's just not. It's so boring.
We've been to Gettysburg. We've been to D.C. I've taught this girl so much.
You guys got to go to Boston. Go to Bunker Hill in Boston and go to the museum. Amazing.
Yeah.
They got cannonballs. I mean, you learn the real story of like how that was the real first big engagement of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And it's just it's crazy. I mean, you cannot leave that place not feeling patriotic. They also sell great t-shirts. But you're right. You feel it more when you're there.
Yeah. But I think that if people were more engaged in history, because I was the type in history class where if the teacher said something, but that doesn't make any fucking sense. What do you mean that the Indians just gave the Americans their land? No, they didn't.
No,
they got massacred. Let's fucking explain why they got massacred.
Taken.
Like, okay, I get why they got massacred. An incoming nation always massacres the fucking livelihood of everybody else. I get it.
Imperialism.
But why are you saying that we're going to sit down and have a meal with them and everything's hunky-dory? Let's take a turkey out of our hand.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
I mean, who doesn't still have their old hand turkey from back in the day? And they still do it. Okay, that is true. They should. It's not easy to look back and say they didn't whitewash our history books. Oh, they fucking did.
Oh, they did.
Oh, they did. And whatever they're doing down in Florida right now, we're just gonna go out and say it. I do not support. That's fucked up. You don't get rid of books. You get rid of pornography books, which is like 2 books that people always post out there.
Yeah.
But you don't get rid of any book could challenge the authority of history. Like, I learned about real history when I went to college. And again, we've said it before, it's liberal history in a way, but it's real stories that you didn't know. It's when you first start realizing that Native Americans were not just sitting down peacefully.
Oh, they were savages.
And they also were attacking us. They were attacking the settlers, and rightfully so. They're on their land. I mean, it's how the nation was founded.
That's my grass.
You want to make it
my bush.
You want
to my bush. I peed on it. That's my bush.
Been here for a fucking minute, bro. Like 20,000 years. We got mounds and shit. Don't make me get into that.
See my snake mound, bitch?
Just wait till you hit Ohio.
Oh, boy.
You're going to see some shit. And wait till you get to Midwest. You're going to lose some men.
Oh, the Oregon Trail.
Oh, the Oregon Trail. Great video game.
What is it? Dysteria? That we always died from? Malaria? We always died from?
Dysentery.
My fucking oxen always died.
Dysentery or snake bite?
Yeah. Fucking Mary Lou always died of a goddamn snake bite.
Keep it together, Mary Lou. Do you even wear shoes? Can someone give Mary Lou some fucking shoes? She keeps getting bit by the snakes.
My oxen kept drowning in the river. That time you have to cross the Mississippi River.
Oh,
my oxen would drown.
There's totally a website you can play Oregon Trail on.
Like
they need to come out with
the old one.
They need to come out with a PS5 version of Oregon Trail. Like, I mean, they'll probably come out with a virtual reality version of Oregon Trail eventually.
Oh God!
And you'll get bit by the snake, and you'll fucking feel it. Ah, fuck! I got bit. I'm going down. Everything's getting dark. Ah, see the light.
No, that's gonna cause some heart attacks. I'm not gonna lie.
VROT, virtual reality Oregon Trail. I'm looking at you, Meta. Do something right with all that money.
You just made $1 billion right there. All for Zuckerberg.
VROT.
VROT.
That's the biggest thing, man. I've always thought about that, though. I'm going to get off another tangent, but haven't you ever thought about how cool it would be, even as a kid, before virtual reality had happened, if you could ever be, like, put into, like, a machine or a simulation, and you actually had to live or battle back in, like, I'm not even just talking, like, Civil War. Yeah. Maybe we already were. For sure. Like, put you back into, like, you know, any era, but of combat. Like, you choose the era of combat from fucking, I'm talking like 200 BC, like fighting the Roman wars.
Way back.
Or you can go further, like
fucking Egyptians.
Stone, all of that. The archers.
Moses.
And again, it would be in a game, so they would have their own version of what had actually happened. But like, you have to understand that is like almost like the way of life of how it was back then. Of like, because there's no, I don't want to say this, there's no good fucking Civil War games anywhere. There's never been a good one. There's a couple on the PC that had popped out.
I'm still not convinced that we actually know what happened.
No, Gettysburg happened.
I get that, and a lot of men happened, yes, but I don't think that we know everything that happened. Because isn't the Civil War like kind of when aliens started coming to the U.S.?
Whoa. Is this going mud flood? Because I can't do
I don't
mud
know
flood.
anything about that. You keep saying mud flood. I don't know mud flood.
So, all right, let me just put this out there because this could easily be misinterpreted. Again.
All right.
The mud flood theory is a big
episode.
Yeah. The mud flood theory, we're not going on YouTube on this one.
The fuck we
already got kicked off once.
We're gonna get kicked off again. I just posted it.
Oh, god damn it. Sorry. All right, I'm dismissing the mud flood, okay? Let's get it clear. I'm dismissing the mud flood. All right, so the mud flood theory is that there was a total history that was different from what we've learned before like the 1900s. And I honestly think it's just recency bias. This is just a case of recency bias and shares.
Before 1900s?
So, yeah, like basically like, or like I think the most closest date that most people put it is like 1913 or like 1907. Like,
okay.
So the theory is that there was a massive flood that wiped away all the old architecture and all the old civilizations, and they just created a history.
You told me that before, but I didn't realize that it
true.
Was that. I didn't realize it was that soon.
It's just that's what I'm saying. It's like it's just there's no way.
Like, no way.
I mean, that is just deep into like, how am I going to get as many shares as possible? And the idiots that smoke as much pot, myself included, could say like, oh yeah, it's plausible, but it's just not. It's just there's no way.
If it was
there's some things that we bring up on the show frequently that are probably out there, but that is just fucking out there.
Henry Ford was making the automobile during that time.
There's photographs of things before then. People were taking pictures during the Civil War. I mean, they're like, oh, it's not real picture. Those pictures were made after.
I've seen legitimate Civil War. Well, when we went to Gettysburg, I've seen legitimate pictures from that time.
Yeah, like the originals. Probably the fucking
glass cases.
the in glass cases that they copied and then they put on the internet or whatever.
And let me tell you, the fucking ghost walks on that in Gettysburg.
Oh, I bet it's spooky.
Those are fucking
Well, you're
amazing.
standing on land that hundreds of thousands of. I think what was the final death count that day? I mean, it was the biggest.
It was the biggest death toll in
American history.
U.S. soil.
Over a 3-day span. Yeah. There was a bloodier battle. I think it was the Battle of Antietam, and you'd have to see how that's pronounced because that's how I pronounce it. And we know that I'm not great at that.
I think that is how you pronounce it.
Is it? Antietam? So. Antietam. That was the bloodiest day.
In the 3-day Battle of Gettysburg, between 46,000 and 51,000 soldiers died in from both armies.
Almost 100,000 combined. In 3 days.
In that field.
That's as big as a football stadium that had died in a 3-day battle, which was, I'm sure as you know, the turning point of the war.
Yep, the North drove the South back.
There was mistakes made on both sides. You got to think of like how combat is back then. And the funny thing is they teach generals and soldiers that when they go to like become whatever officers of strategy, is they probably still teach that to this day as of like how the cavalry had charged at a time that, you weren't supposed to charge or whatever. I don't know the specifics of it. Like the Pickett's charge is a big one. It's like, and they were not supposed to go. Anyone after that would never have made that mistake again. That's part of battle. And it just, you only learn from everything.
Fuck up.
And it's like, every war is different. Every war is the same.
Yeah.
You have two people who don't control anything trying to kill each other over guys at desks back at home.
Yep.
That's every war that's ever been fought.
I think we need to go back to the Viking way.
Okay, I was going to say, besides the old school days where the fucking leader of them were out there.
Yeah.
And the winner of it just, beheaded the other guy. Exactly. And was like, I own you all now.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Like, we'll follow you now.
I mean, how are you not going to rally behind the guy that just beheaded your guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
valid point.
If anything, I'm fucking.
It's a very valid point.
We're recruiting the mountain. Like, come on.
Yo, that guy.
Like, Iceland doesn't have any fucking problems, mountain. Come over to the United States. You're a citizen. Don't even have to take the fucking test. Sorry, everybody else, but we need somebody that can chop off heads.
I didn't think that's
and he's proven.
There are also people out there very, very fringe that think Iceland doesn't exist. I forgot to even mention earlier during the Ohio derailment story. Obviously, no one was paying attention because Ohio is not a real place.
I said it in the
Did you say it?
In the echoes. Okay. I was like, yeah, Ohio doesn't exist.
Ohio doesn't exist. We love you, Ohio.
Ohio State.
The Ohio State University.
Did we have? Oh, you wanted to touch on Joe and Kamala's wife and husband?
Yes.
What the fuck was that about?
The public cucking.
Yeah. What?
To be honest, when you watch the video, it's just like what anyone would do when they kind of like try to kiss someone on the cheek, but they miss, and they just go straight lips. And it was like, maybe try to hit a little more cheek.
Yeah.
When you know that all eyes are on you. But it was basically the fact that, yeah, Joe Biden. Yeah, it is. Greg Price. We're off to a hot start. Hashtag State of the Union.
What do you
think that picture, the picture and then the video too? There's like a million people like, look at this person's reaction. Look at this guy's reaction because it like pans out a little bit after they do it. Even the camera guy was like, fuck. I should not have got that. Fuck. Everything's live. Fuck. And then he pans out and you see people like, oh. They're like cringe like, that's going to be a meme. That's going to be everywhere. It's probably already on.
You done fucked up.
Boom. Within seconds because the internet is undefeated.
What do you think about the State of the Union address?
You know, I listened to it a little bit.
I listened to it.
Because I didn't watch it. I was on my way to hockey. And I threw it on the radio. And I listened to it a little bit. And I have to say that my only impression was the overall level of like uncomfortableness and slight like fear that I had when I heard them say, and we're gonna ban assault weapons.
Oh, they're already
and
pushing for
the
it.
chorus of cheers that followed. I thought back and I go, I'm listening to this because I was listening to it on the radio. I wasn't watching it. And I'm imagining 1936 Berlin. And I'm like, that's fucking terrifying. The chorus of cheers was nuts.
Yeah. It's
And I'm like, by the way, Hogwarts Legacy, I saw the ad over there. I was thinking about buying it.
Strictly because it's transphobic?
No. They actually do have a trans character in there.
Oh,
I think
do
they changed it. They had to make a quick little amends.
I'm surprised.
But I'm not buying it because there's no sorting hat. And I'm not picking my own house. That's
Oh.
absolute fucking bullshit. For that reason alone, I'm out. Shark Tank.
That's ridiculous.
Here we go.
So this is Jill. This is Jill coming in. Yep. So she's walking down, shaking some hands, a lot of claps. Wait, is that Kamala's husband behind her?
No, right next to her.
There.
Oh, right next to her.
Yeah.
There. Okay, here it comes. I watched. Everyone's like, "Ugh." She looked down. He looked away. They were like, "Oh God."
Those were his guests too.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Is that
guests
Jim
is he?
Boeheim? God, there's so many old, bald, white men in fucking Congress.
It kind of is
On
the
both
straight
sides.
white-
It just
kind of
kills
is-
me.
The straight white male is kind of killing our country right now.
You know, hey, how about this story? How about this one that had just happened last night?
Okay.
Well, this guy was actually white, though. You recall the last time we talked about Eunice Dwumfor,
Yes.
the one who had been assassinated last week. There was another Republican assassinated last night in New Jersey, a councilman. Look that one up because I didn't catch his name, and and immediately was like, this needs to be seriously investigated. This is the second person exactly a week later.
Yeah.
But this guy was a murder-suicide at an energy company or something, or an energy
murder suicide. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And was there 2 shots in the suicide's head? That'd be impressive. Or was Hillary Clinton in the same?
Oh, here we go. Bring it on. Oh, well, it's to me, is like, you cannot undermine that enough. These are elected officials. It doesn't matter if they're in the Congress or the council. Like,
Where's their security?
like, well, on that level, it's not very high.
Really?
Tom Keene,
Okay.
Did it-
Republican Representative Tom Keene, who was New Jersey's 7th congressional district, who represented their
So he's
senate.
in state council or whatever. And does it show in there like how it like
It says fatally shot. Trying to get the article to load.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was shot.
Patreons, we need a new computer.
Please subscribe. That's Leaving Earth Podcast.
He was in his car in the parking lot of the office building.
In the car again,
where he worked when a former employee confronted him and shot him. So
that, in my opinion, is like, again, former disgruntled employee still going after a sitting official in the same state. Hell of a goddamn coincidence.
Well, as our man, I want liberties.
There are no coincidences.
There's a lot of coincidence happening.
Yeah, he's making a lot of. Well, I would say that he's got a lot of views on the one coincidence video. We got to get him back out here.
The Kaufman Institute. That's fucking hilarious.
We need a new merch guy, anyways. So fuck liberties. If you're out there, if you made it this far, we love you.
The former employee, his name was Gary Curtis, was found dead in a car in a nearby town with a self-inflicted gunshot wound hours later.
No, he was getting paid. He went to get paid. Fucking dude said, nah, there's ties. Bang.
I can see the argument where it's like, yeah, that definitely is. But
ring the bell. Sorry.
I mean, you can see very easily. I was like, oh, well, it's a guy that used to work there. But again, I mean, it's two Republican,
too coincidental
state councilmen, women, state council people. State council day.
Yeah, the other one was shot to death outside her home by an unidentified gunman.
Probably
I think it was in her car again.
Yeah.
That is similar between both stories. She had crashed her car.
Yep.
So that immediately makes me think that she was being followed. Trying to get away. But she still, stupid enough, went to her house.
Yeah, why?
That I'm going to say, God rest her soul, but I was like, I mean, if you're being followed, don't go to your home. Go drive to a police station.
Doesn't everybody know that?
Or someone could have been, again, that's the weird thing about that story is that I think that she had crashed. So it's like, that's the only real wrinkle. That means like someone was in pursuit of her. And it wasn't that she just got robbed. Like she could have parked her car and then as she was getting out, someone came up and shot her. Or she was trying to get like robbed or something like that. Like that makes sense, but it was like she had crashed her car.
Well, that's because maybe it was a disgruntled employee and she didn't really like that employee. But she was
a preacher.
Yeah. So, but this guy has a disgruntled employee, but he liked the guy.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Hey, what's up, Brian?" Or what was his name? I'm not even saying his name. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, she died Wednesday night after she was shot while sitting in her SUV.
They're not linked.
Investigators have not yet identified a suspect or motive.
Totally irrelevant. That's what the chief of police will say. Totally irrelevant.
So in 2 consecutive episodes, which have come out now a week apart, we have 2 Republican congresspeople, 2 Republican politicians, whatever, state councilmen and women that have been assassinated. It's not murder. When you're a public official, that's an assassination.
Yeah.
You could assassinate a celebrity. John Lennon was considered assassinated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, how can you not talk about it? How is no one talking about it? And it's not being a big deal.
Yeah, that's what bewilders me is it's not a big deal to anybody. Like people are dying.
It's easy to sit here and say
people die every day.
Well, it just doesn't fit the agenda. I was like, okay. Does the agenda ever care about when people do find out about these types of things, of how they look? Well, guess what about your agenda? Looks pretty skeptical.
Yeah.
Same as the fucking burning eggplants. Okay? Not eggplant, the plant. Not the vegetable. The egg processing plant.
There you go.
You have to put processing. You know, that's one of the few things in life that if you try to acronym it down, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, that eggplant down the road. Jeez. Must have been pretty big if you're making that big of a deal out of it. How big is this fucking eggplant? No. Egg processing plant.
There you go.
Okay, now I understand.
I got it, yeah.
Now I understand. You put an eggplant on fire? Who gives a fuck? Was it on YouTube? Like, did you guys, was it a TikTok trend now? Is that what these kids are doing? They're just lighting eggplants on fire to try to go viral? Hey, if they're out there, if you actually tune in on fucking TikTok, start burning eggplants. That's how we're going to send the message.
Yeah.
We're like, why is everyone burning eggplants? Because they're burning our egg processing plants. Yeah. Figure it out.
Look it up.
Look it up. And you picked a good one to join.
I did.
We're kind of nonchalantly going across a time. I'm going to go back to the one story that I had seen on Disclosed, though. Like, a lot of things have stopped working. Twitter stopped working. YouTube had a problem. I had a problem myself of logging onto my my smart TV the other day, and nothing was loading on the apps. I used an old school Fire Stick, and it worked just fine. It was just things all happening together. It was the same day the lights went out in the House Congressional Oversight meeting.
Nobody's tapping into our grid.
Italy had a massive cyber attack that had happened to Italy and said there's a good possibility that it's happening to everybody else. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. We won't talk about that. But Disclosed TV does. That's where you get your fucking information from. Italians can I believe, confirm that story.
So for John Malkovich,
for the Malkies.
Malky update.
There are two, let's see how they phrased this, two wacky trailers for Seneca, which you guys mentioned in a previous podcast, were debuted this week. If you guys would like to watch them.
Throw it on. Throw it on. I'll get our live interpretations of it.
All right. Turn my volume on.
I like it's wacky.
Seneca of Zeiler.
I seek the Senator. Seneca? I am Seneca. I come to tell you, sir, that President Nero has decided that you are to be executed. He's gonna let you take your own life.
This is a
He's getting executed?
man. You all know who this is. Seneca!
I am Seneca.
He believes
So
that
Melky.
mercy beats strength. As of today, we will not speak of these bad ideas.
Had I left the president's employ as scholar in residence, Nero would have been a worse princess. He was
What's about
evil,
Nero?
every part of himself that resembles a man. Aim for
He was
virtue.
inbred.
Happiness will follow.
Be quiet! Does anyone ever demand that you just be quiet for once?
The president sentenced me to death.
No!
Stop! Stop! Why is everyone hitting me today? Oh.
You have spoken. Enough. They laugh at you. Stoic creature of the simple life who got filthy rich being Nero's ghostwriter.
A bargain not many good men have made when agreeing to aid bad regimes, but you know, I did it for Rome.
Wow.
Most humble thanks. Farewell.
Wow.
Perhaps I can become my best Seneca by playing Socrates.
I want to see it.
Bro, that reminded me of Us.
There's one more. Would you like to watch it?
Oh, of course.
Why not? You haven't seen this before?
No.
Malkovich is like...
This
The chameleon.
is the end.
The fuck's with the alien dude?
So, Nero is wearing sunglasses in that one.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Senator Seneca. Now let me get you a horse.
Is that Olaf?
Don't keep thinking.
He's wearing sunglasses.
It totally is Olaf.
I seek the Senator.
Fuck is Olaf's name?
So what I'm getting from that, especially that second one, it's like a modern take on a probably old story about Nero, the emperor of Rome.
Yeah.
One of the last ones, I believe, too. Because Rome was originally a democracy, and then Caesar took over, and it became an empire for however many years. And Nero, I'll have to look him up, but that to me is just looks like a classic Malkovich movie that I have to watch.
Oh yeah.
And it's about speaking truth to power.
Yep.
As most of those movies usually tend to be. But it's like in a weird, modern way. I don't know.
That's not Olaf.
It is not him.
It's not Olaf?
No, sounds like him.
It kind of looks like him.
Got a doppelganger Olaf out there.
Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus.
That's a name.
That was his name. He was born Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus in 37 AD and died 68 AD, the fifth Roman emperor and final emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, reigning whatever till his death. Most contemporary sources describe him as tyrannical, self-indulgent, and debauched. After being declared a public enemy by the Roman Senate, he committed suicide. Oh, I might have gave it away. Sorry. Whoops. Spoiler alert.
Well,
But it's historic, you fucking idiots. I think you're not going to look it up.
Read your history, asshole.
I know he was like crazy. I'm pretty sure he was like inbred. But yeah, I mean, that's how it was back in the day. That looks interesting, though. I don't think they had sunglasses back then.
No?
In 30 AD?
Why not?
Those look like fucking Ray-Bans, dude.
Yeah.
Were you able to show that as like the trailer on
Yeah,
the
I can put it
You
on
can
there.
put it on there as it? Okay.
Sunglasses were invented in Europe in 1752.
That's close.
That's literally rough math, a little under 1,600 years after the happenings of Nero. Unless it's a recent Nero, whatever the hell.
Well, you know, he's got to look it up on Google.
That's fucking hilarious. So it's probably, it seems like a comedy drama, kind of like dark comedy type.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
That's Melky, man. I mean, every movie is dark comedy.
I want to see it. That was
Mhm.
great. I don't know why they were. The one was wacky. The other one was wacky.
What one?
Yeah, that one with the raven. Yeah, the one that was Raven in the background. Like what the
Again,
fuck?
I don't think they had what was that fucking Dead Mouse, the DJ
Yeah.
with the Dead Mouse ears and hats. I don't think that was around in
No?
60 AD. But again, history can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. That's funny. Seneca. I'll see it.
I'll watch it.
It's also a great cheap cigarette.
For the
Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise.
no, for the
Oh, do you want to do a Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise?
Well, you want to do it? What do you got?
No, I don't.
Do you have a couple
I
questions?
just feel like you guys haven't done one in a while.
Well, fucking come up with one.
Oh, let's see.
Who would you rather be in a train derailment with? Mel Gibson.
So
or
easy
Tom
again.
Cruise?
It's Tom. It's always Tom. Tom would figure that shit out in a minute.
Oh yeah,
Tom wouldn't let it derail.
It would be Denzel Washington. He'd be running on top train, fixing it.
Mel would be freaking the fuck out, screaming,
Ah!
not providing any help to the situation at all.
Just rocking.
No, the fucking crash. No, we're trying to figure this out, man. I was like, did anyone die in that? Like, did the conductors? Like that? I mean,
Didn't say there was any deaths.
yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Is like if a derailment happens, I don't know. The derailments are strange how they happen mechanically, but in that type of situation, I'm going Tom. I'm going Tom all day.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yes, let's hear it.
T-Rex.
Who would you share your survival kit with?
Ooh. Oh, so it's easy answer is Tom again.
Right? Like I was trying to come up with a reason why I would choose Mel, but I can't.
So here's a reason why. I think Mel will be more genuine. If it was just you and him, he'd bond.
I also think
Tom would take the survival kit, stab you with the fucking knife, and then run away. So it
also-
would be Mel.
But I don't think it would be Mel because Mel
you
would
do
go
that too?
around the boulder and eat all the crackers. So you'd be fucked. You'd be hunting for
Can I help this in
grasshoppers. Yeah, that's fine. You'd be hunting for grasshoppers before you knew it because Mel Gibson has ate all your food and drank all your water.
I'm gonna put this out there for Tom Cruise's. I think would probably be a good survivalist and a guy that could get you out of like a bad situation.
I'm pretty sure he just gets lost in forests for fun. So I don't.
No, I'm gonna go with Mel just because he's more trustworthy in that type of situation. Tom's a snake.
I completely.
All right,
disagree.
so now it's obviously my turn because you guys both came up with the last one. Who would you rather start a chicken farm with? Tom Cruise or Mel Gibson?
Well, Tom would be very efficient, and Mel's just gonna fuck the chickens. So
Really?
I'm gonna have to go with Tom on this one too.
Be efficient, but I don't like his ties to being too close to the source. Now, remember, Mel Gibson's a bit of a pariah. All right?
Yeah.
He's like untouchable right now.
Yeah, that's true.
He's probably already got his own chicken farm. He's probably already off the grid for the most part. Right? He'd know a way or two around keeping it the way you want to keep it without having any kind of fucking GMO bullshit go into your feed.
Oh, yeah.
But on an efficiency basis, again, trustworthy wise, if you trust him, Tom would be more efficient.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I would definitely have the fear that Mel Gibson was doing something.
You think he'd
I
be
don't
touching
know
him?
why, but I feel like
There has to be
the eggs are coming out just so much easier now. I don't understand
there
why.
has to be a word for someone. Oh, the eggs are coming out strange looking. I don't know if these are edible.
This one chicken just came out spewing religious
let's be fair.
fucking shit.
Lest we forget, he is the fucking rooster in Chicken Run.
Oh!
He was already fucking the chickens.
I forgot.
Thanks, DreamWorks.
That's probably where I get it from. That's why I think he's gonna be fucking the chickens.
Oh, what's the song he sings when he's rolling up on like the tricycle?
Oh,
There's like
God.
he's singing some Yankee, and then I can't remember it.
I can't remember
Fuck
it at all, but I know what you're talking about.
he is the rooster in Chicken Run who said he could fly.
Yeah.
He got flown in there and he's whatever. Shot out of a cannon or something like
Out of
that,
a
and he can't
cannon.
really fly. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go back on that and say that I think Mel, I got points to make for Mel, but if you want efficiency, it's gonna probably be better with Tom.
Real quick, you guys know that Chicken Run 2 is coming out this year?
No fucking way. He's probably not in it, is he?
I will find
There's no
out.
way they let him go back in it. I don't remember anyone else who's in that movie besides Mel Gibson.
That was a great movie, though.
They're all British.
Great fucking
He's the
movie.
American bird.
Yeah.
He's the American rooster.
I don't see him in the cast.
No, of course not.
Can't give him in. Can't put him in front of children anymore.
No. He's already been harvested. He's chicken fingers from about 10 years ago.
He's been abducted in Signs, and he's just never been the same.
Signs theories.
Oh, shit.
That's like one of my favorite memes to post. Or the GIFs, I should say. This is the Joaquin Phoenix and the two kids from Signs sitting there on the couch with their
the
tinfoil hats on. They've taken that off of iPhones, I believe.
Really?
I don't think it comes up when you type in tinfoil hat because it's so funny.
Swing away.
Let's see. Swing away, Meryl.
Merrill, that's his name.
Nope, it still does. There it is.
Love that meme.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites. So Chicken Run 2, when does it come out?
It comes out.
I'll have to see it. Claymation.
Get back to the old Wallace and Gromit
November
days.
10th.
To listen to this episode unedited with an extra hour and a half of conversation, please subscribe to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/leavingearthpodcast. As always, hit us up at Leaving Earth Pod on Twitter, at Johnny_Anchors, at BeeJapheth. That's at BeeJapheth, BeeJapheth. And if you want to join in on the conversation or you have any topics for us to talk about, please drop us an email. That's leavingearthpodcast@gmail.com.